the modulating gas furnace here. We have our connections from the furnace. I established these connections because I like these Wago lever connectors. They're easy to snap in and snap out. So if you follow the brown, it comes down here, it enters here. You want to note this information because that will be necessary when you're programming the thermostat and you want to compare it to see if it was set up correctly. So make sure you do yourself a favor and take a picture. So here's the unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to check our volts DC before I unplug it. So yesterday when I got here, I used this one here, and this caps out at 60 kiloohms. So as a result, when I was checking the A and B connection from down here, it was 0, which was confusing because it seemed like, how's that thermostat running? It's because it was out of range. I didn't tell you like out of range. I had to look it up on the background on that meter. This one is designed for these type of systems. First things first, we're going to turn off the power, allow it 2 minutes to dissipate the energy. So I'm going to put my timer. And I'm going to put 3 minutes. So I'm going to let it dissipate. Come on. That screen protector's not working well. Then we're going to situate this one here. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace that plug with a pre-made one. So keep this on you always. They're helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it here, pull it out, switch it. As you're switching it, just look around. So this one is your return air temperature sensor. The SA2 is your supply air temperature sensor. That goes all the way right there. Make sure that this control wiring doesn't run parallel with any high voltage source because that'll affect the communication. It's all those little things that make it a pain in the butt. But I digress. So now we're going to go ahead and position ourselves right here. Turn the position for you guys. Here. Bring this up here. Start with this one. So I want to check for resistance. And then let's go here. So A to B. So where's my right here? A to B is 15.80 kiloohms. So here I have the indoor A to B, 15.8 kiloohms, 81 kiloohms. Now I switch this one to the white, which will be A to C. And there we have 8.150 kiloohms. 8. Kiloohms. Now I'm going to switch this one to B. So B and C. We have 7.180. 0.10 kilo ohms. Oh, C to D. Now we have one ohm. 1 ohm. So it's differentiate that. I'll just type it in. 1 ohm. Shoot. Okay. So these three, A and B, A, C, B and C, were kilo ohms. So 15 slightly under 17 was not that bad. Now we're going to check each one to ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to establish our ground connection. So we can grab one of these here. Switch out this one. And anytime you're doing this, make sure that you have 0 as a reference. 0. So hello.
Hi.
Okay, so right now we're going to check from ground to each of these terminals. So we're going to go here first. A. We have 8.164 kilo ohms. So there's a path to ground established. That means that board's bad. Good, I'm going to continue. So right here I have, let's do that again. 8.163 kilo ohms. 8.163. 8.163 kilo ohms. Okay, the next one is going to be B to ground. And that one is 7.181 kilo ohms. 7.1. Okay, next one, ground to C. 0. Shorted. D. See that? 1. Solid 1. Jump it around. Let me switch my tip. And then we're going to put this back in line. So now it's OL. Oh, it got loose. Saw that? Make sure you're on there. You gotta make sure you're on there. There you go. So there. 0.93. 0.93. And that's ohms. Okay, I'm gonna show this one to white. 0 ohms. Yep. Okay. There. And then I'm gonna just check the other one since I'm using a crocodile tip now. The A. 8.162. Yeah. So that's how you do it. So these are my A to ground, B to ground, C to ground, D to ground. That's ground. And that's for my indoor unit. So that's condemnable right there, according to tech support and according to information gatherers. We're done with this part. Now the last thing I'm going to do here before I go outside is I'm going to take this one off. Now I'm going to grab it here so that, remember, this one is the thermostat, the control upstairs. And this one is the outdoor. The outdoor's not using the red. It's using the green, the yellow, which is AB, and it may use the C. I'm not sure. We'll check. The easiest way to check, grab this one here and just put your prongs on it. And get it right there. I'll show you. So, first things first. Oh, I might want to check it here. We've established the resistance to ground and we found it grounded. We're going to go ahead and just get the volts DC and conclude this aspect. So we're going to have to turn this one on. We're going to check it right there without any path to the circuit board, because as soon as it connects to the circuit board, it starts communicating. So we're going to switch over to volts DC. Let's put this one right here, A, and then B. So we have, looking for solid reading. Let's see here, these are wiggling a lot. 3.88. That's good. 3.88. Alright, next one. A to C. 4.09. 4.079. 4.079 volts DC. Next, this one's going to be a smaller reading, and that's 193.7. 19.7 millivolts DC. So that's always going to be C to D. I mean, your B to C will always be in millivolts. It's smaller. And then C to D will be 24 volts, so we're going to switch our range. So let's switch this one. .28, so we're good. So voltage wise it's good, but it's grounded. That's what an inverter does. It confuses people, because you would think it shouldn't run, but it can. It simulates three-phase, in the words of Josh Goodman. Okay, that's done. Getting out of here, I'm going to go ahead and just connect to the equipment to show how this works. So when it's on, you're going to use the Bluetooth. You're going to pair. Sometimes you'll have to take this off. Let's see if it reads. Red. There's three options: installer setup, diagnostics, and firmware. So let's click on installer setup. Now installer setup, you have Fahrenheit efficiency 2, the airflow for the cooling high, low, continuous fan airflow, heating blower delay, cooling blower delay, heating thermostat stated as a 2-stage low heat, even though this is a modulating gas valve. So right there, to me, that's a possible issue. I'm going to go ahead and screenshot that. Then we have, for cooling, it states it's a 1-stage. That could be another issue because it's a variable speed, not 1-stage. And that's all pertaining to this circuit board that we're attaching to, and again, it's grounded. Outflow horizontal, inducer boost is on, airflow display is on, and then right here you'll notice it says version 7. Now I'm going to go back to the main screen. I'm going to go to Diagnostics. Now on Diagnostics there's 0 recent fault codes. That's at odds with upstairs at the control itself. At the control itself it has a humidity malfunction, so that also tells me there's an issue. The app that pertains to the circuit board itself is not reflecting what the control it says, so there's something going on there. Then we have limit fault, medium heat pressure switch open, and then a low pressure switch. All these things pertain to this. When you see a bunch of components that all pertain to one part of the overall system malfunctioning, it's usually a control wiring issue. So now I'm going to go to unit history. On here you'll see that it says 0 low cool cycles. That means that this control board thinks that there has not been any low cool cycles, even though upstairs it says it's presently dehumidifying and it had it at 30% capacity. So clearly there's a disjunction between what's stated at the control and what's stated on this app that pertains to this control board. So this is like a computer. You gotta like troubleshoot this information, I think, critically. Here you have low heat cycles, high heat cycles. Yeah, you can see 0 low cool hours, so like that's clearly wrong. Here's this return air temperature, 75, 71.9. So there's a delta of about 4 degrees. Right now it's at 30% capacity, so you tell me if you think that that's high cool. Nope. So I think that this control board is at issue, which we found out it's grounded, so duh. Now we're going to go to the firmware update, and then this is the interesting part. Look at here. Latest version 6. Hi Brooks Whitson, I don't see anywhere that it's prompting me. So that question's moot. That's how you would troubleshoot that control board. Hopefully you get some currency for this.